You are listening to One Happy Podcast, episode 98, our October 2017 Aruba trip report. Bon dia and welcome to One Happy Podcast, the officially unofficial podcast of the island of Aruba. As always, I'm your host, Curtis Robinson, a.k.a. Aruba Kurt, and today I'm being joined by...
none other than Maggie.
Being joined by my sidekick, Maggie, and we're down here in Aruba on location, recording blow-by-blow recap of our Aruba trip. So what we're going to do is check in, not necessarily every night, but we're going to check in pretty regularly to just give you an idea of what's going on down here, what we're doing, and how we're enjoying the island, and I hope you enjoy these podcast episodes. So we're going to start with leaving Delaware, which was Saturday. Saturday night we left Delaware about 7:30. We got out of the house at a decent time. We had to make the drive up to Newark.
Yes.
Which is about an hour and a half drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a pretty easy drive. It's a straight shot. So it's about an hour and a half drive from Delaware up to Newark. We like to stay in a hotel close to the airport, so that way in the morning, it's just a quick 5-minute shuttle ride over. So for this one, we ended up staying at the Courtyard Marriott.
Mm-hmm. Which was actually right next door to the Spring Hill Suites, which we stayed at
a couple trips ago.
Back. Yeah,
and the Spring Hill Suites kind of sucked, but the Marriott was pretty decent. Prior to that, we stopped at Applebee's for dinner, which is not what we normally do. Normally, we would try and find some place that has some sort of local significance, but
there's a reason we chose Applebee's.
Well, we got lured by the dollar margaritas.
The dollar margaritas lured us in.
Yeah, so for October, Applebee's runs dollar margaritas, so we decided to stop in and give that a shot.
Yeah, what a way to kick off vacation, get it started.
Yeah, why not? Applebee's sucks.
We were in the twilight zone of Applebee's too.
Yeah. It was just full of screaming kids.
I think it was Applebee's Center City, Newark.
Might have been.
We were right across the street from the Cityplex 12, if anybody's familiar with that.
Yeah, so it wasn't the nicest. Applebee's service sucked. The food was all right. I mean, for Applebee's.
It was Applebee's food. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just Applebee's food.
Yeah, the margaritas were all right, but they were only $1, so.
Yeah. Yep. Enough said.
Yeah, you can't beat that. So anyway, we after Applebee's, that's when we headed over to the hotel. So how would you rate the Courtyard Marriott Newark?
Am I basing it against other places I've stayed, or just on a hotel scale of 1 to 10?
Would you stay there again?
I wouldn't not stay there again.
Okay.
I wouldn't look to stay there because you know how I like. Not tradition, but I like familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And we stayed at the DoubleTree the last time, and I wanted to stay there this time.
Mm-hmm.
But, we weren't able to.
Yeah, well, I like to bounce around, so.
Yeah, you like to try new things. I'm different like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't base it against other hotels. So if I'm basing it on a scale of 1 to 10 as hotels go,
right,
I'd say 6.
Yeah, I might go 7, but how about this based on the 3 that we've stayed at in that area? So we stayed at the Spring Hill Suites, we stayed at the DoubleTree, and now we've stayed at the Courtyard Marriott.
So I would say the DoubleTree, then the Courtyard Marriott, and then the Spring Hill Suites.
And the Spring Hill Suites is on the do not ever stay at again list.
Exactly, yeah. The Courtyard Marriott, I'd stay there again.
Yeah, but the DoubleTree was your first choice. I understand.
There was nothing wrong with the Courtyard Marriott. It was just there.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about the Courtyard Marriott is the fact that was probably the shortest shuttle. Well, I guess it's no shorter than Spring Hill Suites.
Right.
but
it was very short.
Yeah, and the shuttle left on time, which I dig, because I hate whenever you go out to the shuttle and they put your stuff on the shuttle, and then the driver has to go to the bathroom, so you gotta wait for him for 5-10 minutes. That was very efficiently run operation.
Mm-hmm. We actually ended up riding the shuttle over with another couple who ended up going to Aruba as well.
Which is funny because we had no idea. They were dressed completely different than us.
Yes.
We were dressed for Aruba.
Yeah, they seemed more like they were dressed to go somewhere cold.
Yeah, I thought they were going to
And it was weird because it wasn't like it was cold back in Newark. It was it was probably in the mid 60s when we
Right.
left this morning.
Yeah. Yeah, they look like they were just for winter almost.
They did.
But we ended up seeing them, several times, obviously, because we were heading to the same place.
Actually, and then as soon as we walked into the airport, I saw a woman with a bumper sticker on her luggage that said, "I heart Aruba."
Nice.
I was like, geez, we're everywhere.
Right. And the Newark airport, I got nothing but good things to say about it. We're flying United, so when you go to Terminal C, that's all United, so it's as easy as can be. They could probably have some different food options.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like. And it's not that I have to have a McDonald's, but once again, there's that familiar word.
Right.
I need familiar. It needs to be there as one of my options.
Yes. You're a very picky eater. But whenever it comes to airport food, especially in the morning, I get it completely that you just want something plain. And they got a lot of fancy places there.
You're right, they do.
And when you just want something simple, that stuff's just not appealing. I understand that completely. In fact, I decided to skip breakfast and instead went for a deli sandwich. So I think I made the right choice
your
for me.
sandwich, that was really good. I had egg and cheese, and Jess, my daughter's traveling with us this time, and what did she get? She got a
muffin.
muffin, yeah. So she went really on the plain side. I probably should have gone as plain as her, honestly.
Yes. But
But it wasn't that the food was bad.
no.
It was airport food.
Yeah. It's difficult early in the morning. Well,
So,
it wasn't that
On
early.
to the plane. Hey, so you told me that our flight took off at 10:15, and what time did it say it was going to land?
We're supposed to land at 3.
At 3. Okay. Which I thought was a long.
4 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, I thought that was a long estimated flight.
That is a long estimate, which they probably do. So when you land early, you're super happy
Yeah.
because we did land early.
And we landed early. Yeah.
What time we landed? 2:30. About.
It was a little
about-
before 2:30.
Yeah.
And then we had to
wait.
sit on the runway for a little bit. Yeah.
Right. So we ended up actually getting off the plane about 2:45.
Oh, and another experience we had on this flight too was it was very cloudy coming down on the descent into Aruba.
Yeah, which normally is just clear.
Yeah, there were points where you looked out the window and there's nothing but gray
Couldn't
outside.
see anything, so we were like, "What the heck is this?"
Yeah.
But no. Once we got a little bit lower, it was the same beautiful Aruba that you're used to.
Oh yeah. But it looked like it had poured rain today because there were puddles in a lot of areas.
Right. Once we got outside the airport, we did notice that. But once we touched down, it was pretty fast process.
Yeah, it
We
was.
got through the happy flow in no time. We picked up our luggage and everything. Yeah, it was. How long would you say total? It's fast.
It was
We'll just stick with
fast,
fast.
Let's go with fast.
Yeah, it was as easy a transition from the plane to the rental car
facility,
pickup
yeah.
as possible as I've ever experienced.
And the rental car pickup was quick and easy.
We went with Royal again this time. So we hadn't gone with Royal it's probably been about 4 or 5 trips since the last time we've gone with Royal. Not because we had any bad experience with them. I just like to try different things for the podcast because it's good to be able to report back on a bunch of different rental agencies, because a lot of people, they talk about, well, this place is the best or this place is the best, but they've only tried 1 or 2. Now I figure if I've tried 5 or 6 or 7 different places, then I can give you a little bit better idea of who actually does have the best service. And there's some people that love Royal. There's some people that hate Royal. For me, they're in the middle, but closer to the top for what you want.
Yeah. It depends on what you're looking for. Like, if I'm looking for a Jeep to just kind of beat around the island on, I'm definitely going to go with Royal.
Can't beat
I mean, price-wise, and you don't have to have a pristine
vehicle
when it comes to a Jeep that you want to bang around on the backside of the island.
Yeah, in fact,
I
you're better
actually
off with
prefer
that
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have to worry about scratch marks on my car or anything like that.
Exactly. And for this trip, well, if I was going for a mid-size car, which a Hyundai Accent on Aruba is mid-size.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
That's a whole other thing. But if I was going for a mid-size, I probably wouldn't go with Royal. I'd go with someone else, because you're probably guaranteed to get a pretty new car if you go with an Optima or a Tropic or something like that. But,
Amiga was nice the last time.
Amiga was nice.
I did like the idea of the rental car facility right on the airport property.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have to pay a premium for that, for that convenience. But this time we wanted an SUV.
Yeah.
Because there's 3 of us and a bunch of luggage and everything. We probably could have squeezed it into
We could have made it
sedan,
happen.
yeah. But, I mean, we wanted an SUV. Yeah. So Royal was almost a no-brainer because their quote for the vehicle was about $100 less than the next lowest quote for a similar sized vehicle. So it just made it hard to not choose them.
Yeah. It's a decent vehicle on the inside.
Yeah, it is. Strong air conditioner.
Great air conditioner. Yeah. Radio's fine. And as long as it gets me where I'm going.
Yeah.
If I got my air conditioning, I'm good.
Well, this is my favorite part. It's got just enough scratches on it that he marked the whole thing as being scratched. So no matter what we do to it, we're not responsible.
So how about when you sent the email, and what was it?
Oh, yeah. They did bait and switch us, which I didn't like.
All over the place.
Well, I don't know about all
Remember,
over the place. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. So whenever I sent the email originally, I asked for a quote on an SUV. So they said they had a Chevy Trax. Which I had no idea what the hell a Chevy Trax was.
So we looked it up.
Yeah.
We saw what it looked like.
Right. So whenever I went to formally reserve the vehicle, it has a drop-down menu. You have to choose which vehicle you want from the drop-down menu. So I'm looking at the drop-down menu, and there's no Chevy Trax listed. There's a Chevy Equinox. So I figured, hey, it's kind of close to the same thing. Equinox is a little bit bigger than the Trax, but it's in the same family.
Yeah, because their response to you on the Chevy Trax was Chevy Trax or similar. Yeah, right.
So I picked the Equinox, Yeah. And
I agree. That looks similar. It kind of looks like our Toyota
RAV4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, about the same size. So I chose that, and the quote went up, $18, which is not a lot of money.
Yeah,
but
it's just the principle.
It's the principle.
But I think the real kicker was what we got when we got here.
Yeah. So why are we driving around in a Kia Sportage? Makes no sense. But that's royal free. That's Aruba free, honestly. This is a nice vehicle, so I can't really complain about that.
No
it's just
problem.
funny the process that we went through in order to end up with a Kia Sportage.
So we started with the Trax. We thought we were getting an Equinox, and we ended up with a Kia Sportage.
Yeah. But
with a great air conditioner.
Nice vehicle. I cannot complain about the vehicle. Spacious.
Yeah. Right. So we got ourselves back to the house by, what? It was about
4 or something.
4 o'clock?
Yeah, a little bit after 4, I think.
Yeah.
By the time we finally got here, we decided not to go to the grocery store today. We're going to do that tomorrow morning because I have to go over and get my Digicel hotspot
But
activated
we promised
anyway.
ourselves, we had to figure out a place to get some food because the last time we ate was,
This morning.
7 o'clock this morning at the airport. So we wanted to stop off and get something before we headed to the beach.
And Pika's Corner was open.
Pika's Corner was open, but we wanted Don Pistache.
Well, we
weren't sure if they'd still be open.
Right.
So we were like, well, we'll wait till we get to the house till we get to the Wi-Fi to check on that.
And, it wasn't open. So we decided that Pika's was going to be the place that we go to.
Yeah, we just pick up something.
Yeah, it's right down the street from us. Very convenient. We've been there before. I like their food.
Yeah.
So we go over to Pika's, and Pika's is now closed. I mean,
Closed.
15 minutes earlier it was open, but with our luck, the way
And
our
now
luck is.
it was already after 5. So we only had like an hour or more to
Get to the
time
beach.
spend on the beach.
Right. So,
So, as tradition has it,
we ended up at Wendy's.
we ended up at Wendy's.
But I didn't eat Wendy's
No.
because
So
that
you
would have
left
been
us
like
to eat Wendy's, and you got
KFC. I got a little bit of pride. I couldn't bring myself to doing it. So I'm ashamed of myself.
Welcome back to Aruba, and here we are at Wendy's again.
I think.
And I
probably
don't
the
know
last 10
why, but
trips
that
we've probably-
seems to be the most popular restaurant on the whole island. It is
always a
so
long line.
crowded there all the time. That parking lot, the restaurant,
They definitely love Wendy's.
they
in Aruba.
they love their Wendy's here. Yeah.
Crazy. So we picked up our food and we went over to Eagle Beach, our normal spot, sort of, over by that new food stand that they have over there.
Yeah.
Which we weren't
Pretty
sure.
windy evening.
Yeah, we weren't sure that place would be open, so that's why that wasn't an option. We didn't want to get over there and discover that it wasn't open.
Yeah.
But it was, and they were cranking up the music. It was pretty cool. They had a lot of island-y type music playing, very loud. So if you like loud music, it's probably not your spot. But for me, because of the type of music they were playing, it just kind of fit the whole vibe that was
Oh,
going
yeah, I
on.
love that.
So we hung
I like
out.
Sunday nights on Eagle Beach.
Yeah, I do too. Very different than during the week.
The sun, I mean, I don't know if it was because it was a cloudy night, but it seemed like the sun set about 6:30. It got pretty dark, but
Yeah.
it wasn't one of the clearer sunsets.
No, it wasn't a good sunset to watch. I mean, it was cool to be there because, first of all, we're in Aruba and it was our first night.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a good sunset to view.
Right.
Couldn't get any really good pictures or anything like that.
No.
Hang out in the water for a while was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Well, like we said, we only had about an hour.
Didn't even want to
so.
leave the beach. I mean, it was dark by the time we left, but I didn't even want to leave.
Yeah, I
really.
could have hung out there. The only problem is we didn't have any beer or anything. But if we did, I probably would have hung out there for another hour.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. But instead, we came back here and got cleaned up and showered and everything.
Yeah.
Because we were going out to dinner.
Yeah, we wanted to make tonight just a
Chill.
low vibe. Yeah, just chill because we didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night,
Yeah,
and then
you know
the
how it
whole
is
day
on
of travel.
day.
And we got to get up really early tomorrow to get things done. So it was just a nice
nice and
evening.
relaxing evening. We didn't.
And what was the name of the restaurant?
Well, we
we
didn't
went
have
to?
a set place where we wanted to go, so we were looking
Right.
at different options. We had considered a lot of places, but we ended up settling on Así Peru.
If you said that right.
If I said it right. As with everything on this podcast, you have to pardon my pronunciation. From Pittsburgh, and we're not known for being great linguists. Linguists, that word, yes.
Yeah.
From Pittsburgh.
I can't say Toyota. You can't say linguist.
Yeah. But, no, it was a great place. It's over by Paradise Beach Villas, the big pink place over there in the
Yeah.
low-rise section.
The
So-
pink place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
From
like-
the main road, you see Terrazza Italiana upstairs in the balcony at Paradise Villa, and
Así Peru is on the
right along the side of the building
on
there.
the ground level. And
Nice
it's-
little place. And you know what I love about places in Aruba? They're tucked away, and first you don't know they're there, and then when you see them, they seem really small, and then you get inside, and there's so much more to the place than what you would think.
Well, see, here's the thing about that restaurant. I don't know a whole lot. I didn't know a whole lot about it coming into today. I still don't know a whole lot, but I can tell you that it's, I think, the number 4 ranked restaurant on TripAdvisor. So I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And some great company.
Service was great.
Service was great. The food was really good. I
Yeah,
dug it.
if you ever listen to us talk about ceviche, you know we love ceviche, and I would say their ceviche was top notch. I really liked it.
Yeah. I think they might have the best ceviche on the island, at least of the
That
things
we've
that
tasted
I've
so far.
Tasted, which
Yeah.
we've probably sampled from 4 or 5 different places.
Yeah,
I put them at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Chihuahuas.
yeah,
But I think I will put theirs over Chihuahuas.
above Chihuahua. Yeah,
We ordered, the 3 of us. We ordered 3 different dishes.
yeah, totally different dishes.
I ordered a seafood medley
Uh-huh.
and a spicy sauce.
Yeah, I had it was like a shredded chicken in a
Creamy.
creamy pecan sauce, and it had potatoes with it,
Yeah.
and
Jesse
and my
had
little
a-
pyramid of rice.
Yeah, the pyramid of rice. It's kind of cool looking.
And Jess had an Asian fusion
Yes, Peruvian Asian fusion dish. It was
with beef and
like a pepper steak almost.
yeah.
And they were all really good.
Yeah, they are. They were. Each one was so different than the other, but they were all really good. The service was great.
I enjoyed
We
it.
didn't have any drinks tonight because we're kind of
Yeah, we just drank water.
Yeah.
They kept our
trying to get ourselves rehydrated
they
and
kept
ready
our
for
water
the
filled up.
trip. Yep,
That's all I can ask for.
yep. So that
Prices
was
prices are reasonable to me. I mean, it's Aruba, so nothing in the
yeah.
tourist
So
areas.
so
really,
we didn't have dessert. We didn't have any alcohol,
No, we ordered 2 appetizers.
but we did have 2 appetizers and 3
and 3
dinners, and we spent around $100. A
Yeah.
little bit more than that.
Right, when you add in the tip, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is one of those places that adds a service charge. They had a 10% service charge. So what I did was I added the other 10%. Because
Yeah.
normally I would tip 20%.
Right.
I think I rounded up a little bit.
Yeah,
So it was,
yeah,
ended
you
up being
did.
more than 20%, but that's what I would normally do anyway. But you do have to be careful of the service charges for places because
Yeah, because not everybody does, but
yeah,
when you least expect it, they do.
yeah, you don't want to, I mean, maybe you don't care, but I don't want to necessarily tip 20% on top of a 10% service charge that they've already added in.
Right.
It's just not my thing. I mean, the service was good, but it wasn't that good.
Wasn't 30% good, right?
No. So after that, we just came back home, relaxed, sat down, and recorded this little podcast for you guys. So that's everything from arrival day which was October 22nd. Mm-hmm. And I will be talking to you again in another day or two, and we'll give you up-to-date.
Yeah. Once we get our energy going and get ready and have a good time. We have so many plans for this trip and so many different things we want to make sure that, Jess gets a chance to see. And I don't know how you fit it all in.
We'll figure it out. But until then, this is Aruba, Kurt Robinson, and Maggie. Make sure you check out this podcast episode, which can be found at onehappypodcast.com/EP98-A. OneHappyPodcast.com is the flagship for all things podcast related, so please do head on over there. Also, check me out on Instagram at OneHappyPodcast, and on Facebook at Facebook.com/OneHappyPodcast. That's probably the best. Those are the best ways to keep up on what's going on up to the minute. And these podcast episodes will come out every couple of days. But I guess I don't have anything else to say to you, Maggie.
Nope.
Then hit the music.